Welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. I'm here with my wife Marisa. We've spent the last 3 years traveling full-time in our 4x4 truck camper behind us here. Today we're going to be doing a slightly different video. We're going to be taking you through a summary of how our first summer went working together full-time at a resort community here in Almont, Colorado.
So last summer was a little different than this summer. Last summer I worked and Eric was doing modifications on our new Ram 5500. Well, new to us, Ram 5500. We had a Ram 3500 previously. So he was doing modifications while I was working at 3 different restaurants in McCall, Idaho. So I was bartending, serving, and doing a bunch of stuff I never thought I'd be doing, but realized how much I loved it, which led us into this summer of work. And now we're working and doing the same types of jobs together. This guy became a bartender this summer. Never thought he'd do that, but now he's a full-fledged bartender and doing great at it.
The other way that we make money on the road, if you haven't seen our previous video about how we make money full-time on the road, is Airbnb ownership and management. We own 2 Airbnbs ourselves and then manage a handful of other Airbnbs. That not only contributes to our summertime revenue, but also our wintertime revenue, year-round income. So then these summer jobs become supplemental income to support us in our full-time travels on the road.
The resort that we're working at is in a beautiful area called Almont, Colorado. We're working at a resort called 3 Rivers Resort, and it's between Crested Butte and Gunnison. You know, a little bit closer to Gunnison, but basically smack in the middle.
One of the highlight points of the geography of this particular place is you're at 8,000 feet of elevation, and you're also, from a latitude standpoint, pretty far south for the very cool temperatures that you end up with. So if you're trying to, say, not do a ton of driving on a yearly basis, you could be migrating in Arizona over the winter and then only drive as far as Almont, Colorado in order to have average temperatures in the 70s versus feeling the need to drive super far north. So it'll definitely amount to some savings for travel costs and stuff like that by choosing somewhere like this.
And the area is also known as the wildflower capital of Colorado. So we've experienced wildflowers from when we got here, basically at the middle of May. We started seeing them in June, and they're still blooming now. We have them right in our front yard. It's a great place. This resort has over 60 cabins where you can rent out. They have some RV spots. It's a fly fishing and a rafting resort. So we have lots of people that come in for tours daily. They have 2 rafting tours, actually 3 rafting tours a day, where they go out and they do different parts of the river. So you can either, be on class 3 rapids, paddling with the team in the back, and somebody's doing all of the, what would that be?
Guiding.
The guiding in the back. Or you could be on a boat where somebody's doing all of the rowing, and then you're just sitting as like a passenger princess enjoying the ride. So that's been really nice for us. I got into fly fishing this year, so I've done a bunch of fly fishing. We have a little spot that I can go out to, and I can just do some roll casting and have some fun getting used to the rod. But it's been great. We've been here since May 16th approximately, and we're leaving in about a week. We'll be leaving in September 12th next week.
And in that time, we've been fortunate enough to be able to take advantage not only of the fly fishing aspects of working here, but also the rafting. We got to go out, probably 5, 6 times this summer rafting.
I'm riding the bull. I'm riding the bull.
I was curious why they said Mach 1, and then I heard the second bag. All right.
So fun.
Yeah. All forward 2. Find the bull. All forward 2.
Yeah, and I went out a bunch of other times. On Tuesday nights, they do something called Taylor Tuesdays, where all the locals get together and raft down the river. More of a locals thing, and I've gotten to experience that a few times. It's been a great summer. We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've done probably over $1,000 worth of rafting for free all summer if you really were to add it all up.
Well, we tip.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun though.
The way we ended up at 3 Rivers was we have some friends that we met in Baja 3 years ago, and then last year we were trying to get a job here, but the resort was full, so we ended up in McCall, and that's how we started our first work amping opportunity, and we've really enjoyed it. I enjoy serving and bartending more than I ever thought I would. And Eric flourishes probably at everything that he does, so he's enjoying it as well.
So there were a lot of things that we really liked about working here this summer, and many of those things are things that we feel are going to be very difficult to duplicate next year and anywhere else, I guess, in the future, because this place had just so many conveniences and amenities affiliated with the job that in other places you would be paying for, that amounted to a massive amount of savings this summer while living and working here. So for example, you get a free spot with full hookups while working here as an employee. So from May 16th to September 12th, we've had power hookups, water hookups, you name it, and haven't had to pay a dime for it.
Another few great amenities that they offer to us is there is laundry that's here on site, and with the laundry it's inexpensive, so we're able to do laundry on a weekly basis. We have complimentary meals, like a shift meal and a shift drink for restaurant employees here. I don't know if they'll keep that next season, but it's been a great thing that they have this season.
So the free food and drink part is really one of the highlight points of working here. I've worked in other restaurants, you've worked in other restaurants before. I've never got a free shift meal and a free alcoholic beverage at the end of a shift. So that has amounted to a massive amount of food savings for us this summer. Our grocery bills have been minute. And also it kind of has given us the feeling of going to a bar without having to pay for the experience of going to a bar. Like after work, you can just belly up to the bar, have your shift drink, have your shift meal, and then go home. And it costs you nothing other than a tip to the bartender. So it's pretty awesome in that respect.
Another great thing about having a stationary spot is that I was able to do some planting. As you can see behind me, I love my plants, and it's been over 4 years since I've been able to do any kind of horticulture. So it made me ecstatic knowing that I could grow plants and they would only not be watered 1 day a week if I wasn't here Saturday or Sunday.
To go along with having beautiful plants, you've also got extremely beautiful weather here. When researching this town before coming here, I looked up the high temperatures or average temperatures for July and August, and average daily temperatures were something to the effect of 77 degrees, and nighttime lows were somewhere in the 40s, which is absolutely perfect RV weather. We've ran our heat more often than we've run our air conditioning, which if I had to choose between the two, I will always choose to have, a little bit of heat in the morning rather than running your air conditioning all day because you're in a hot place.
Another great thing that we have here is a bus that runs from Gunnison to Crested Butte, and we can hop on the bus every half hour. It runs from 7 a.m. to midnight, and it's always on time. It's always there. It's a beautiful bus, a coach bus.
It's a 5-minute walk from our camp spot down to the bus stop.
It is amazing. It has been a lifesaver. There's days that Eric wants to sleep in and doesn't want to go to the gym. I go jump on the bus. There's times Eric doesn't want to move the camper and needs to go to the hardware store. He'll jump on the bus. It's just been a fantastic attribute to have here.
Yeah, the bus is something that I wish I took better advantage of in the earlier half of the summer. Having used it for the second half of the summer, I've realized just how convenient it is to not have to move the rig if we want to go into dinner in town or something like that. It's such a small town in Gunnison or Crested Butte that you can walk everywhere. So just take the bus in, have your adult beverages and food, and then take the bus out.
It's been awesome.
Did we mention that it's free?
Oh yeah, it's free.
It's free. Yeah, there's no cost for the bus.
What's also been great is there's a gym that's in Gunnison. We don't take the bus there. We do drive our rig down to the gym about 4 days a week. But there's a gym right down the street 24/7. So we go there, we shower there. So we could shower in our rig, but as all of you know, we prefer showering at the gym. It's been great too because we walk down to our restaurant and we're working all day. We're getting in like at least our 10,000 steps a day, which we've been trying to hit all summer. So that's been great for us to keep our, health points on check and getting all of the steps in every day.
I've definitely lost weight because of the amount of steps we've done. But I definitely noticed that on weekends when we're not working at the restaurant, I gain 3 or 4 pounds from eating garbage food and then not walking as much. And then during the week, I get rid of all of those LBs by doing our 10,000 plus steps a day. Another super sweet aspect of being here at this resort has been the friends that we've made, the friends that we already had that we knew ahead of time we're going to be working here. But it's really nice to just, after work, if you want to hang out at the bar, there's probably going to be 4, 5, 10 other employees hanging out down there having drinks because there's not a lot of other restaurants in this area. There's really only one other bar And to be biased, ours is a better vibe. So people are definitely congregating there all the time. So you can have friends to hang out with and feel like you're part of a community while you're work camping here for the summer.
Ours is a better vibe. He's definitely right about that. But our restaurant is also a seasonal restaurant. So it's only open from the times we've been here. You know, it stays open until the end of September. We're leaving a few weeks early. But it's outdoors. So people really want to come to our restaurant because they know they only have 4 months to enjoy it. It's all outdoors. So regardless of the weather, you know, you're in an outdoor environment all day long, which has been such a bonus to this restaurant. Another thing about this resort is it's family owned, which is really cool because the family is very involved. They're here all the time. They're the nicest people ever. All of the whole family are such sweet people. And that makes it more of a community with everybody rather than not knowing who the owner of the resort or not knowing who the general manager is when you're working at a resort. And like I said, it has 60 cabins. It's a big resort. I don't even know how many acres it takes up, but
yeah, a lot of space, a lot of acreage. But yeah, it's been great not working for like a corporate company, being able to show up. Like I wear these cutoff jean jorts and their t-shirt, and that's really the uniform expectation. Like I wear these Hey Dudes hat. I mean, other than the shirt, that's the only difference to our uniforms here. The fact that we get these free drinks and free meals with working there is something that I think is more aligned with a family-owned resort rather than corporate, where they're just super focused on the numbers and would be upset by the amount of money they're losing by giving employees food and alcohol. But I've really loved working for this family operation.
Fair to say, though, one of the places that I worked at last year, they would give you an allotted amount. So it would be like $15 or $20, and then if you went above or beyond that, you had to pay the difference. So what they're doing is not necessarily uncommon, but in his previous restaurant experience, 20 years ago, they didn't offer that. And he was also working, like I said, for corporate companies.
Yeah.
But what's another thing that we can't forget is we do dirt bike occasionally. Well, Eric dirt bikes and I jump on the back with my pegs. But we can just jump on the back here and go into the woods for miles and miles and miles on the dirt bike. It's been awesome. He'll work a night shift and he'll take the morning off and just go up there shredding for hours.
Yeah, it's been super nice to just take the dirt bike off of the rack here and be on a trail in 200 yards from my camper's spot. And you can ride all the way over to Gunnison, you can ride all the way up to Taylor Park. I've got this super sweet 29-mile loop that I can do in about 2 hours. So like Marissa's saying, if I've got an opportunity before work in just a couple hours, go bang out some riding and be right back, which is something we've never had in terms of closeness and proximity to where we've been working.
What's great about that is with the dirt biking, on our weekends that we have off, we go camping. And within a half hour, 40 minutes, you are in some gorgeous areas like Spring Creek, Taylor Park. They're just gorgeous places that people travel from all over to come to these areas. And they're right in our backyard. We couldn't have asked for a better location.
One of those benefits of being close to all these great camping spots is they're areas that friends of ours want to go to anyway, not necessarily friends related to the resort here, but friends of ours outside of here on weekends. They want to go dirt biking up in Taylor Park, or there's something going on over in Canyon City, and we're only a couple hours from our friends. So that was one of the reasons why we were striving for the Saturdays and Sundays off, so that we could go hang out with friends who have a normal Monday through Friday schedule. And that's been a huge bonus for being here in Colorado. We've definitely been able to see more people this summer than we did last summer in Idaho.
Yeah, definitely.
The last thing that was really nice about being here in this particular area was its proximity to 2 concert venues. One of them is pretty small. It's the other bar that's here in town. They've done some concerts that Marissa's been to, but there's a really large concert venue down in Gunnison called iBar that's only a 15-minute ride away. You can camp there overnight if you want to. And we've gone there. I've gone, 2-3 times? You've gone 4 or 5?
Yeah. And there's been some great bands coming through there. So it's been really nice to have a local concert venue so close. Next week, we're actually going to a show right across the street. And I can walk to it and walk home.
I will say that's something that we've had at every place that we've kind of established ourselves for a summer. Like last summer in Idaho, there was a concert on the mountain every Friday or something like that we went to. And then we weren't working when we were in Bend, Oregon, But when we were there was a humongous concert venue that, although we weren't able to see the concerts, we were able to be parked close enough that we could listen to them or be even on the Deschutes River listening to the concerts. So that's kind of neat that each summer we've fallen into the ability to listen to high quality live music,
Yeah,
not
for
just like
sure.
bar bands and stuff like that.
And I love my music, so it's been awesome.
So the dislike list is pretty short. I'm going to cover it very quickly. The dislikes were the fact that some of our shifts got cut short. It's been a slower than average summer here for them. Certain aspects of the business are down, and that has attributed to the fact that we've had some days where you get told, you know, you don't have to come in or you have to leave after an hour or so. Part of that is also related to the fact that there is one bridge that basically connects this area with Western Colorado, Highway 50. The bridge has been out since before we even got here, and it's just now finally reopened to where cars can go out and across it. And for that reason that we had our shifts kind of cut short and things were overall a little bit slower this year than in years past, we made a little bit less money than we had kind of expected to make, but we still made plenty good money certain times of the year especially. Other times of the year it was slower, but overall the amount of savings that you get by being here, having a free spot, free meal, free drink, all drastically make up for, you know, some slower days at the restaurant where we didn't come home with quite as many tips as we had originally hoped for. And the last dislike was there was a small amount of drama that went on here. That's going to happen everywhere that you work in life, but we had some people quit midsummer because they were throwing temper tantrums, had some other people that, you know, just couldn't really work together well. And as two adults who work really hard and do a very good job of getting along with others, I just didn't need the drama. I would have been happy if it didn't happen, but of course it's gonna happen with
In
any
any
job,
workplace, you're gonna have drama. So I think it's a silly thing to kind of even include as a dislike, but drama.
No drama, mama. Don't want it.
Drama-free people here. All in all, this resort has been phenomenal, and I definitely would come back here at another point, another summer down the line, but we like to move. We feel that there's so many places in this country to explore that we want to go to a different place next year and the year after. Hopefully we'll make it to Alaska. That's what our plans are next year. Eric seems to have a little bit more input on Alaska because he's done a little bit more research so far.
For Alaska next summer, we'd love your guys' input and recommendations. If anybody has work camped in Alaska over the summer where they've done a server, bartender type gig and found a place that has similar amenities to what you've heard us outline here, we'd love the input. So far, I've been leaning towards Seward, Alaska. I looked up the most popular tourist destinations in Alaska. Denali's number one. Seward and the Kenai Peninsula is number two, and Denali doesn't seem like it has a whole bunch of restaurants. From people I've talked to that are from Alaska and been there, it just doesn't seem like it's got enough of a food and drink culture to support the work that we're looking for. But Seward, because it's a port town and has all the cruise ships coming in, seems like a very viable opportunity for us to be able to experience Alaska and make some good summertime tourist-related money in an area where they probably don't have enough regular locals living there to fulfill the needs for restaurants and stuff like that.
Or if you have any places that you would recommend to us, drop them in the comments section below. Yeah. We would really, really appreciate all of your input.
Whether it's Seward or not, like if it's a different town in Alaska and you're like, yeah, we've done this before, it was great, definitely put it in the comments because we are loosely starting to plan, you know, where we're going to work next summer. We wouldn't mind making some contacts in order to try and solidify something and get that ball rolling sooner rather than later. Yeah.
He's been planning most of that. I'm planning our next stop. So when we leave here, we're going to take a little 2-week tour to get back to Salt Lake City. And then from Salt Lake City, we are jumping on a plane and heading to Maui and Kauai. So we're going to get to check Hawaii off of the states that we've been to, which will just leave us with Washington and Alaska, which we plan on doing next year. So yeah, give us any places you have in Hawaii. We'll be in Maui and Kauai for 10 days. And then we're coming back to Salt Lake, and he is going to be
working on boats again. So we are going to do our usual South Salt Lake City, probably 1 month of me winterizing and shrink wrapping boats, provided Bridger has work for me. Watch this, Bridgie, make sure there's work for me. Then we're headed down to Arizona. We're gonna hang out with our friends from Jensen Adventures, spend some time in Gilbert there, and we'll probably get the truck all ready for Baja, do any last minute preparation or maintenance. And then wintertime in Baja. So we're hoping to cross the border sometime around Thanksgiving. And so that'll be a pretty narrow window between leaving Salt Lake and going to Gilbert and then getting to Mexico. But wintertime, Baja will be there sometime around Thanksgiving.
So thanks for tuning in and watching how we made money this summer and the pros and cons of our work camping job. We really appreciate you watching our channel, so make sure you like, subscribe, and leave any comments for us in the section.
And be sure to watch this next video that we have hand selected for you to watch that we think would be a great video. If you're new to the channel and you haven't seen much about us, check it out.